ये चलेंगे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स की एक प्रेस ब्रीफिंग की, आप उसको देखते हैं.
This afternoon for this special briefing on the ongoing visit of Italian Prime Minister to India. I'll just make some brief opening remarks and would be happy to take questions thereafter. At the invitation of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Her Excellency Miss Giorgia Meloni, President of the Council of Ministers of the Italian Republic, is currently on her first state visit to India. Prime Minister of Italy is accompanied by Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister His Excellency Antonio Tajani and a high-powered business delegation. This is the first bilateral VVIP visit from Italy to India after a gap of 5 years. As you are aware, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi and Prime Minister of Italy had held extensive and productive discussions on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Bali, Indonesia in November last year. In terms of program, Prime Minister of Italy arrived earlier today morning, was accorded a ceremonial welcome at the forecourt ceremony in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and has just concluded her official talks with the Honorable Prime Minister, both in the restricted format and also in the delegation level format. She also paid her tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at the Rajghat, and thereafter Honorable Prime Minister hosted the Prime Minister of Italy a luncheon at the Hyderabad House. Later during the day, Prime Minister of Italy will also call on Honorable Rashtrapati ji. Prime Minister Meloni will also participate in the 8th Raisina Dialogue as the chief guest and keynote speaker alongside Prime Minister Modi later this evening. In terms of the substance of discussions and the decisions that and the understanding that the two leaders arrived at, I will just make some broad brush 8 to 10 points which were key takeaways from this meeting. First of all, both the leaders agreed and decided to elevate India-Italy partnership to the level of strategic partnership. As per Italian Prime Minister herself, her visit to India was a matter of strategic choice. The fact that she decided to undertake the first bilateral visit in Asia to India was a strategic choice and not just a routine bilateral visit. 3. Prime Minister of Italy appreciated the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister on matters of regional and global importance, in particular when it comes to concerns, interests and priorities of the global south. 4. The discussions covered the entire gamut of bilateral, regional and global cooperation. 5. And I must mention this important point, both the leaders held discussions in a very warm, cordial, friendly, frank atmosphere between the two leaders. A strong bond of friendship between the two leaders was very, very clearly visible during the discussions. 5. In terms of areas of importance which were discussed, on which important decisions have been taken in terms of next steps. First is the area of defense cooperation. The memorandum of understanding on defense cooperation has been concluded. In terms of subsectors within the defense, it was clear during the discussion that with legacy issues behind us, the door is now open for the industries on the two sides to cooperate more strongly in this area, particularly in the field of manufacturing, co-production, co-design, co-innovation. 2. Military exercises to be expanded and deepened to all levels in the armed forces. 3. maritime cooperation, and I'll talk a little bit more about it when we come to specific areas of maritime cooperation a little later. The sixth element which they discussed, again an important element of our strategic partnership besides the defense, was need for deepened cooperation in the field of space, cyber and sea as three of the key strategic sectors in our cooperation. Work will now begin between the two sides to identify specific areas of partnership in each of these domains and of course their subsectors. Another element of cooperation which was identified for progress is HADR cooperation, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, and within that especially the need for joint exercises, greater number of joint exercises to better prepare our systems to respond to such challenges wherever they occur in the world. Eighth, the broader segment of economic cooperation, the focus was on 4 or 5 key subsectors. First, on trade. As you would have seen and heard the two prime ministers speak during their remarks to the press, bilateral trade volumes between India and Italy are at all-time high. Last year I think we clocked $15 billion. Growing investment between the two economies.
तो आप देख रहे थे सीधा प्रसारण मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस थी। फॉरेन मिनिस्टर विनय मोहन, फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी माफ़ कीजिएगा, विनय मोहन क्वात्रा ब्रीफ कर रहे थे मीडिया को किस तरह से आज इटली के प्रधानमंत्री के साथ में और भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के बीच में जो वार्ता हुई उसके क्या कुछ प्रमुख बिंदु रहे।